Alright, let's just get in there with no time to spare. Let's just look at things immediately. Let's bring down our horror music a bit here. Just let it play out. If it's about to finish, we can actually just cut it out. Took a quick look at the Survivor and Killer. Immediate thoughts were, these are some very, very interesting perks. So, let me fix my microphone, and let's just take a look. Everything seems great. Okay right now. We have audio, we have video, the bit rate should be fine. It looks like my color balance is a little off. I can see my headphones kind of disappearing, but we won't worry about that right now. We can worry about the Chrome key a little bit. Looks like a mechanical dredge. Yes, I see a lot of people talking about the same. What did he just pull out right there? Did anyone see that device that had a glowing pink crystal? That was interesting. Missed that for a second. All right, so let's just take a look at the perks. We have Gabriel Soma, and then we have the Singularity. One killer, one survivor, one new map. Always, always, always happy when we get a new map. Every single time. So, catastrophic nuclear war nearly ended humanity in 2098. It's going to take that long for us to do that. But humankind rallied and eventually found a way forward. So this is a person pulled from the future instead of someone being pulled from the past or from the present around our time. First perk, immediately I was like, this seems a little loaded, but maybe not as loaded as I thought. Troubleshooter. No amount of distraction will shake you from your primary task. When you are chased by a killer, Troubleshooter activates. So, it doesn't have a charge. It doesn't have a build-up time. It is just when you are in chase or considered in chase, this perk is active. When you are out of chase, it deactivates after 10 seconds. But the perk does. You see the aura of a generator with the most progress. So while you're in chase, you see where the generator is on the map that has the most progress done. One that helps you avoid it. The second part of the perk, you see the aura of the killer for 6 seconds after dropping a pallet. You get both things. You get two things. You get the ability to see and avoid where the generator is on the map that has the most done while you're looping a killer. And you see the aura of a killer for 6 seconds after you drop a pallet. If you are in chase and you see where the killer is for that long after you drop a pallet, you almost completely take away all mind games from killers at pallets, because there's nothing. Doesn't matter if they hide their red glow. It doesn't. If you can just see their aura by dropping a pallet for that long, you completely take away all mind games from a lot of killers, or a ton of mind games from a lot of killers. I think this is pretty loaded. Now, granted, I was like, oh, it's just gonna make mind games impossible in chase, but it is only 6 seconds after dropping one pallet, so you do have to move to another location to get the pallet dropping aura effect for yourself. But still, you still get to see the generator with the most progress on it while you're in chase, and every pallet you put down is an aura reading explosion for you. It's insane. All right, let's move on. That's just the first perk. The first perk has 2 effects. This world shall know me. Pain, it always does. We know that. Good to see ya. Alright, now made for this. I think we're going to have to wait until we get into game with this, but made, you were born to survive. Made for this. Made for this activates while you are in a injured state. You run 3% faster. After you finish healing another survivor, gain the endurance status effect for 10 seconds. So, another 2 times perk. Yeah, the survivor perks are crazy. I am agreeing with that so far. It's strange because they're like double. Both of them they're all loaded. So this one does 2 things, and 2 separate things well. It lets you see where the generator is. It lets you see the killer in chase. This perk could be 2 perks on its own, and each of those perks could be justified as their standalone perk. But it's one. It's 1 perk. Secondly, made for this, you run 3% faster. After you finish healing another survivor, you gain the start. So you're incentivized to stay injured. You could have no mither and just be running around faster with this, and get the endurance status effect for healing people, so you can make very aggressive heals while you are injured too. If you finish healing another survivor, this is another thing where it could just be 2 perks. You could have the run faster at 3% as its own perk, and then you could have after finish healing another survivor, gain the endurance status effect for 10 seconds. both of these could just be separate perks. Both of them could have separate perks. It's insane. 3% is and isn't that fast. If it so like NOED increases your speed by this much. Think about this is like a survivor's NOED. It's a little strange. New Dead Hard. Yes, you should play No More Nither. Yes, I agree completely. If the PTB was, oh, actually, I probably can just do one round of No Mither with him all the same. Besides the point, let's finish looking at these perks. Last perk here, Scavenger. This one, I feel like they've added like a lot of the last survivors just like they all have like one gen jockey perk or like one perk that's meant to help people gen jockey. This one is no different. Where others see junk, you see valuable improvised tools. While you're holding an empty toolbox, Scavenger activates. So, after you completely use up the item in your hand, the toolbox in your hand, this perk activates. Succeeding a great skill check while repairing generators gains 1 tokens up to 4. So it's not just normal skill checks, they're great skill checks. When you reach the maximum tokens, lose all of the tokens and automatically recharge your toolbox to full. Scavenger is disabled for the remainder of the trial after recharging the toolbox, meaning it can only be used once during the trial. This perk's great. Grants the ability to rummage through an open chest once per trial and will guarantee a basic toolbox. So that's a lot of the flashlight one that Hattie have and the pharmacy by Quentin. It's all they do have. So now we have the medkit specific, the flashlight specific, the toolbox specific perks here. I don't know. It's great skill check, so it makes you want to like kind of pair it with say like a taps perk that gives you the instant great skill check. Stakeout might not be a bad idea, but it's still if you run a loaded toolbox, so you run like a green Commodious with parts and with both parts, you can actually get through a trial through getting like again it incentivizes it helps gen jockey, but it does nothing if you have no chance to use a toolbox if you're getting chased the entire thing. So it really just leans into the it works when it works. It's going to work well and give you an advantage and give you a lot of extra oomph from your item, but then you're just going to run into situations where you've touched maybe one gen, you don't even use half your toolbox for the entire game, and every one of your teammates does it for you. So I think Scavenger is the weakest perk, and I don't mean weak as in bad. I just mean weak compared to his other perks here. Yeah, Made for This. Yeah, I would love to see Dark Fury and Made for This go together, because then that's 2 separate speed buffs. That actually puts you just, I think, only 5%. It's like 6 or 5% slower than the killer at that point. Usually the killer is around anywhere between 10 to 15% quicker. Normally 15% quicker for you for base speed killers, 10% for range killers since they move slower, and then the Nurse and Hag and Spirit have separate speeds. Lower than that, but it would be interesting to see how much distance you can get by using Made for This and Dark Fury in an area. Again, 2 perks. This is like 2 perks put together. This is 2 perks put together, and then this is just the generic item, the flavor item perk for toolboxes, like how to get toolboxes guaranteed out of boxes. It's only a basic toolbox, so it's not really worth it in my eyes, but at the same time, it's just like a toolbox is still better than not. I don't know. It's rummaging, so you also can rummage through an open box, so if someone's already taken an item out of something, you can get a free basic toolbox. It's pretty good. Yeah. It only works on great skill checks, but again, you can still force great skill checks. It's not going to be free. It's definitely not just like 4 skill checks and you get a toolbox. Yeah, I think Troubleshooter is going to be his best perk. I think this actually could be a meta perk for the uh, just for DBD as it is right now. I truthfully believe it could be a meta perk. Having the ability to see the ore mid chase, I think is a lot more powerful than people might realize right off the bat. But we'll see. I think that was Rebecca's perk by Hyperfocus. The more skill checks you hit in a row, the more you kind of get out of it, is what you're thinking of. Yeah, Hyperfocus, every time you hit a skill check, your skill checks do more and they go faster and they become more often. So a lot of people liked Hyperfocus for that reason. Okay, let's go to the killer perks. They liked Hyperfocus because, again, it just rewards... What is that item he's holding? It just rewards being good at hitting great skill checks. I think Stakeout, Hyperfocus, and now maybe that might work. Well, we'll see. I think there's definitely potential. There's always potential for massive, every time you add one perk into a web of hundreds, then you just get so many different builds, and I love that. It's like one of my favorite things about Dead by Daylight in general. It's just that how many perks there are and the variety of perk builds. All right, first off the bat, love the killer design. Weird. It's weird, and I like that a lot. I like how it's a mix of like painful looking cybernetics and just like not so much an alien life form. It just looks like this thing was made in a petri dish in like an experiment kind of gone wrong. I believe this is an alien though. Let's just look at the backstory real quick. It was activated on the 15th of 2313, manufactured. Yeah, so it's like a cyborg flesh. It's a very strange human. It's not human made, but our civilization, human civilization in the future, made this thing. So it's as much as you want to say it is alien, it's more of just like a sci-fi. Oh, what the heck? That wasn't supposed to happen. That was a glitch. A sci-fi cybernetic like gross organism. Love how it looks. Just love how like gross and painful all the metal looks into the killer. I bet that doesn't feel fun at all. I haven't looked at his perks yet, or their perks, its perk, whatever. The singularities perks. Genetic limits. Around you, the limits of human life become readily apparent. When a survivor finishes the healing actions, they suffer the exhausted status effect for 32 seconds. That's interesting. The organic body is so limited. So this just so it's inside of your... When a survivor finishes the healing... Yeah, so this doesn't... You don't need to be inside of a terror radius. This is just exhaustion from no matter where on the map. So you can just run this, and no matter where on the map, when a healing action is completed, they have to pay for it by being exhausted. I think that's actually pretty interesting. Anything that makes people pay for healing or makes healing adds negatives to finishing a heal, I'm always very for on the killer side because of how strong healing is for survivors. And I know this by healing a lot. I use heal. I bring medkits in and I talk about it a lot, how strong healing is. You have learned the emotional weakness of the organics and how to exploit them. When a survivor is put into the dying state by any means, all other survivors standing within 16-meter range around them suffer the hindered status effect for 10 seconds, reducing their movement speed by 15%. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I don't know exactly how he works, but when a survivor is put into a dying state by any means, this is going to help snowball exposure plays, insta-down killers, and just M1 killers in general. This is going to be a very snowbally perk, I feel. Mostly because of the fact that it's a 16-meter range, which is significant. That's half of a terror radius range, or a general half, like his terror radius, 32. It's half of his terror radius. 10 seconds of hindered for 15 seconds of speed, with only a 40-second cooldown. Oh, I think this could have some good... You could really, really snowball a lot with this if you get people in a group. If you get, especially maybe even in the end game, I can imagine getting someone down and everyone's kind of running towards the gate at the same time, and allowing yourself to down one person and then kind of snowball, keep picking up people. I know you only get one use of it, but the ability to down, maybe catch up to a group of people because you've slowed them down so much. Gabriel, good to see you. Oh, of course I remember. I hope we've been doing well. I hope everyone's been doing well. It's good to see everyone after so long. What a good day to slug, everyone. Yeah. I think this is going to have a lot of, yeah, and this is definitely going to play into slugging gameplay when you slug one person and then this helps you catch the second person. This is going to really disincentivize traveling in groups when injured, because if one person, again, like I can imagine a blight, okay, a blight ping ponging around, gets a person down. It's a group of survivors there. You down the one person, okay? Then that causes this perk to go off. They're hindered. You don't even have to ping pong yourself. You just go walk over because they're basically slugging about, and just go down them as well. And you've won the game now. You've won the game, and it's everybody. It's not just one survivor. It's every survivor within 16 meters. So you could put an entire team down. With the right circumstances. I don't think this is going to be a meta perk. I don't think this is going to be seen every single game, but I do believe this is going to be a very snowbally. When it works, it's going to work hard. But it works a similar situation. It just might not go off even a singular time in the game if not a single survivor is grouped at any point. Besides the point. Next one. Machine learning. Oh my goodness, this is a paragraph perk, people. Paragraph perk. Next week or month. Nice. A little drink there. All right. Free from your shackles, you are born anew and prepared to eliminate your creators. After performing the damage generator action, this perk activates. What an interesting activation criteria. While this perk is active, the next generator you damage will be compromised until it is complete. The generator is highlighted in yellow. When the compromised generator is completed, you will become undetectable and gain 7% haste for 30 seconds. And then the perk deactivates. If you damage a generator while another generator is compromised, the compromised generator becomes the latest one damaged. All right, so let's run it back. The next generator you damage will be compromised. You have to hurt a generator. Once you hurt a generator, you get machine learning. It helps you. You're like, okay, I know how to hurt better. You then compromise a generator. When that generator is then finished, when you compromise a generator, it doesn't really negatively affect it. It will highlight it for you, but it won't regress it quicker. It won't hurt it extra. It won't do anything past a normal kick. But when that generator is finished, that compromised generator is completed, you then become undetectable and quicker for 30 seconds. At first, I thought maybe completely useless. And then then I'm a little more on the fact of there's always going to be those generators where survivors are going to just be able to push them out, where a generator's in a terrible place and you almost want to lose it. So kick the generator, let it go, just let it be done because it's going to be done anyways. Let the compromised generator pop, gain the undetectable, gain the haste, and then become a menace. Maybe do something. I'm trying to think of what else you could do with it. I think it has a little potential. It's very strange how this goes off since it requires the generator to be completed for the undetectable and the haste to go off. So you have to give up a generator. But maybe then also it's like a long Kong where you just like hit a generator that's barely done, like it has a few percent in it, and you kick it, and then like 2 minutes later, 5 minutes later, it goes off, and you randomly get undetectable and haste, and you're like, oh no, this allows me to get some momentum in the game that I'm in. It's a very interesting perk, mostly because of how it is set off, how it is first primed and then set off, are very unique. Criteria that we don't really see a lot. Very interesting. I'm more interesting than not. I would love to see where this can go or what this can do with certain killers, because you always have to think like yes, of course these are these killers perks, but then you have to think about every one of these perks on a separate killer, the most meta killers, the weakest killers, and what it can do for them, what it can do for builds. I think forced hesitation is going to be his big one. Genetic limit, I like the fact that it goes off anywhere on the map. It's not terror radius required. It's not distance required. It is just whenever someone heals on the map, they get exhausted. I think that's really cool. I wonder if this works on, so say like two people are healing one person. Do both survivors get exhausted, or the person that was finished healing get exhausted? How does that work exactly? I'm very interested to see how The wording makes it seem when a survivor finishes it would be the person who is doing the healing gets exhausted. But the perk picture makes me think the person who gets healed is exhausted. It would make that, I don't know. But we'll figure it out. We'll see it in use. We'll see it in lifetime. Been in the Dark Revival. It's on PS4. I've seen actually the entire playthrough of that. I forget who I was watching, but it was very. I love the art style of that game. Very visually pleasing. Let's go into his power. Let's talk about it a little bit. Quantum, instant, what? Instantation. I gotta have to get a pronunciation on that because it looks like the word instant and then ination. Quantum instination. If I pronounce something wrong, it's because I'm a big dummy. The Singularity can shoot and spawn bipods around the map. These bipods can attach to any vertical surface they land on. The Singularity can control a bipod remotely and look through it and tag survivors, afflicting them with a temporal slipstream. When slipstreamed, the Singularity can teleport next to the slipstream survivor, either by using the bipods to tag them or by shooting them. When a slipstream survivor is in a proximity to another survivor, the slipstream can spread. Special state, overclock mode. After a successful slipstream teleport, the Singularity enters overclock mode. In this state, walls and pallets can be destroyed faster, vaulting speed is faster, and he cannot be stunned by pallets. What? Attempts to stun by pallets merely remove overclock mode and momentarily slow the Singularity. Interesting, so you can knock him out of his overclock state by hitting him with the pallet, but it does not stun him, only reduces his movement speed. Special interaction, electromagnetic pulse. At the beginning of each trial, several supply cases spawn, each containing an EMP. Survivors can use these EMPs to remove the slipstreams for themselves or others, or to briefly disable a bipod. Once used, the EMP is destroyed. So the sprays, your Nemesis spray, your Wesker spray, or Wesker needles. Oh no, other way around. Wesker needles, Nemesis needles, Wesker sprays. Sorry, a little tongue-tied there. Fascinating. I wonder how quick. I gotta see this all in person. So it looks like you place your power around the map. You use them as security cameras. You tag people with the power so you can teleport to them, similar to the Demigorgon. And once you teleport, you are put into the overclock mode. It doesn't look like you want to necessarily down someone in a chase. It kind of looks like you want to control the map with your bipods, and then go into slipstream, go into teleports when it works, when it looks advantageous for yourself. We just got to see this in game. Let's get into the game. Let's get into our survivor side over here. Let's get on through. Very interesting power. I think, as always, the best way to experience killers and survivors is, of course, just to see them in game, play them in game. So glad you can turn that down a little bit. Let's just we don't even need that many perks, so we're just going to go in immediately. I think we're going to be able to get maybe up to level 5 or 10 before it even places us in a game. I do like that we have the quicker blood web loading right now, so that's always very useful. Come on. I wonder, on the PTB, is it actually... Okay, it is. Don't need to do them all separately. The center, you don't need a... I'm still going to get used to the new blood web. Who would have guessed? As always, just immediately call them sus. There it is. Alright, we don't need to worry about posting any of our offerings. We should have just kept on buying more blood webs, because we most certainly would have been able... we might still be in the 20 seconds. Gotta go quick. Gotta stop going individual on the nodes. I gotta break my mind out of that one. Oh, not in time. Let me switch to my perk build. No! That's all right. We're not really worried about testing all the perks individually. We want to see the killer in game first, which we're assuming is going to be who we're going to go up against first. Sadly, I have to go. I was checking if you were alive because I got a new bike and had to work and needed to go shopping. Well, if we're still on by the time you get back, it'll be good to see you again. If not, be well until we see you the next time, Gabriel. Thank you for stopping by and checking in. We are very well, and I hope everyone here who has stopped by the stream is doing well as well. If I say well one more time, people will start taking water from me. On that note, everyone, hydrate. The red circle, come on. We know we're getting the new killer. Let's see the new map. Of course. Why have the new map when you can just have bad ham? Alright, let's get in there. Alright, everything looks normal. Let's go open one of these boxes up just to take a... They look cool. I like the little... So these things are made automatically? It looks like this was already making something before I got to it. Oh, you could make more than one. Interesting. And then I can charge. This is what he was holding, the EMP. Oh, what? That's pretty cool. I think it will only work if we are near one of his bipods, because I can't activate it. So let's see if we get exhausted here, then this will confirm. Alright, I'm not exhausted, but that doesn't mean anything because he might not even have the perk activated. Like, we only have 2 of the survivor perks. He might not have all the killer perks. Heal party, you guys have fun. I do have a giant lollipop, though. That's what all I can think of, is I just have a giant... I'm running around with a giant, like, fun pop or something. There are... It feels like there's a lot of these containers around the map. Those two were very close to one another. Maybe I'm just going... Maybe I'm just going crazy. Alright, so that's one of his bipod things right here. I just temporarily disabled it. Let's use up our toolbox, see if we can get the, how long it takes to get a normal... Yeah, so we're not building up charges on it. The great skill checks don't go in until after, or don't give you any perk. See, now it's active. Now it's lit up. That perk is now lit up on the left side of my perk wheel. It doesn't destroy this. Thing over here. Oh, I agree for that. It hasn't destroyed the bipod. I love this terror radius. The terror radius is nice and cosmic horror-y. What is that? This has been disabled for quite some time now. Okay, there's one. It's now active again. So he could... I want to get shot with what... I want to see if he uses power and shoots me while I'm on this. This thing is so cool looking. Oh my goodness. That walking sound is so awesome. That, like, that whirring, bloody, like... That is so cool. Let's put this down. That sounded so cool. I'm also 3% faster. Keep that in mind. It's not like for a little bit. This is just I'm always 3% faster. Let's go upstairs to see how I can miss that. Never mind. I don't. Oh, that's what he shot. That's what we saw in the strange. Oh my goodness. All right, that stops him. It doesn't stop him, but it slows him down. Oh, it talks. It talks when you stun it. Did you hear that? I didn't realize it had like voice lines, like AI sounding voice lines. What is this thing on my back? It is so strange looking. I mean, I know what it is, but it's still just strange. Just keep running. We got that 3% speed. Actually feels huge. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm zooming right now. Oh, he's gonna teleport to me right here. He's on someone else. I like that it kind of stays static. It's like a chicken head. It doesn't move when you do. It kind of has its own center of gravity. It's interesting. His tear radius feels like it shouldn't be over here. Maybe it's because of the thing on my back. If I wasn't garbage with skill checks, I would have already have gotten my toolbox charged again. Not that it would have done much with this tool. Alright, he's gonna be like super speed right here.
Vision compromised.
Take that. Let's run through here. Just go right up the back and then take a left. Lost a lot of distance right there running into the generator. Got a nice pallet right here. That 3% speed, dude! Dude! Oh, I'm dead, dude. Unless there's a pallet at this car, dude. No, I'm dead here. Yeah. Dude, the 3%. I know I've said dude 17 times in the last 2 minutes, but holy crap. That 3% speed. Oh, that's cool how he holds you. This is so cool how he holds you. No wonder it looks janky as hell from a distance. He just picks you up and just lugs you about. Just zero care. Holy crap, that 3% speed. I don't think I would have made either of those pallets. The pallet in front of this preschool and the pallet on the side of it, I would not have made either of them if I did not have that extra. I believe so. It feels like that was it. Because it's a constant 3%. It's no matter where you are, as long as you're hurt, you're running faster. And that felt like I was just zooming. You can do like blood pact. You can have like right now it's active, so like this on top of BT, I'm flying. I'm running faster than the killer, or at least it feels that way. Holy moly! Why does he have such a distressing cry, or whimpering cry? So he's put these around here. I think that's him. That's he's put these bipods around. It also seems extremely useful because you can shoot people from a distance and then teleport right on top of them. Like if I wasn't right next to like some very strong pallets, he would have. Oh. He stays in overdrive, I think, until he's smacked out of it. By the way. Yeah, so if we wanted to avoid letting him go into his overcharge mode right now, we would be using these EMPs on our position right now. And I believe I should also use an EMP to get this thing off my back, which I shall go find now. Can he just teleport to me right away? Like, is there anything else he needs to do other than having this thing attached to my back to teleport to me? Did I misunderstand that? Thing is so cool looking, though. Holy crap, this looks so cool. Oh, hey, gentlemen. Alright, just breaks it off your back. And you can do it at full speed. You don't have to, like, stop to use it. You think I stopped close enough, or do you think he sees me here? Oh, no, he's in his mode. I was like, it's like the Charlotte drop, where he drops his head. Yeah, he was using the, oh, he's going in for this. He sees you. You just run away, I got the save. You run the opposite direction, and I'll get him from this direction. Alright. He has one of the EMPs. I'm gonna go try to go. I don't know where he's using that right now. Probably just to throw around, but... You think there's medkits here to heal him? Oh, that's what he's doing. He's probably gonna come over here. Yeah, go. I'll lead him away. He's overcharged right now. I don't get away from him. Just wastes a little bit of his time having to make him path in a very odd way. Remember, he still has this on. Probably has to be on this side or I'm dead. You broke it. Let's go. Ah, bastard, that was good. That was really good. I don't think I get this. Nicely done. He had a camera up here, so what he was able to do... That was a hell of a way to be able to teleport like that, because he was...
43%.
I love that voice. That voice is just great. It's just so emotionless. I love that as a killer voice. That works very well, in my opinion. Holy crap, that was cool. He teleported from underneath by using his power that he set up on that tree. He shot me again. Was able to then, instead of having to come upstairs through the window, just then uses his power, overcharges on top of me. Excellent use of that. It's definitely in that category of I'm gonna be left to die here, I think. The setup really pays off, or the setup is very important for his power. And on top of the fact you can't destroy where he sets it up. It's a permanent location, it seems. He must have a... You only can temporarily disable them. I say temporarily, but it was upwards to probably be about a minute or a minute and a half. Yeah, he just did the same thing. He broke the one on his back, and he broke the I'm on death hook here without a heal. I should have taken that heal, I think, from him. Alright, he just hit I want to go grab... I came over here because I wanted to grab this. When it's fully charged, I like that it also just... You can get an unlimited number of these. So I guess that also makes sense. He can keep them up permanently. You have an unlimited amount of these. Yeah, let's get this one right here. We gotta go. We can't be the one to stay there while we're injured. He can't teleport over here. You think he'll go back and kick that probably, right? Before he, oh no, he didn't. Gotta be a hook right next to it, though. Yeah. I think we pick up this EMP right here, and then try to get it, set. Oh. See where he goes. Yeah, he comes back over here. Let's go over here and just assume he's gonna... I broke it, you bastard. I don't care what you say. We're just gonna run since we're injured. Straight line it. Pray to God. He's gonna try to hit us right here, which is fine. Damn it, I was trying to get cheeky with him. I should have ran around the other side. I tried to run underneath him in time, well, so he would turn in the middle of him. Trying to get cheeky. Wasn't going to happen. Alright, first game against the Singularity, and I'm glad it was against someone who seemingly has had as an epiphany and has figured out a lot of core mechanics that I think were very much meant to be... Oh, the hatch actually opened up right underneath me. A lot of mechanics that... A lot of killer mechanics that are essential to understand. Oh, I meant to do 5 stars. 5 circles. 5 stars. Ah. Calcium, TM. Yeah, he found it too. Oh, and he sees him too. It's a trap, queen. Do 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 do. Excellent game though. That was a lot of fun. Next. Alright, let's try one more Survivor game out. And then we're going to see how bad the killer cues are. Sometimes they aren't bad, but something tells me this killer is going to get a lot of attention. I have a sneaking suspicion. We have a killer who can teleport, scout, get a enrage ability, break things quicker, avoid stuns, the teleport. I think I already said teleport, but I'm gonna say it twice. Let's just bring in no item, and then we'll go find a toolbox. Would probably be a reasonable way to get around that. Spend as many blood points as we can. Maybe even think about, oh, windows. Can't go wrong with that. It's funny how Windows of Opportunity, I think, is the #1 used perk right now. And I remember very long ago we were talking about it, and I commented that I think it's Windows of Opportunity is in such a weird place where it's both one of the best onboarding and newcomer perks, and also one of the best like high level Dead by Daylight player perk. And that's because of having you both learning where the loops are and the vault points are helps you when you don't know the map at all, and then also when you know the map so well, you know that you need to know exactly where those spots are the first chase you get in, like if you don't have an opportunity to scout the map, or just avoiding having to scout the map entirely. All you need to do is run Windows of Opportunity. And then you just about know every single layout, especially if you're very familiar with the maps. And you're like, oh, if the window's on this side of the building, then I know how this entire structure is now configured because of this one bit of information I have. Alright, let's, 3 of these all right next to one another. Let's just accelerate this real quick. They're all in a generator. I thought I saw something. So I love how it feels like I'm basically doing the equivalent of like how to make an elevator go faster. Just keep on pressing the up button when you're going up. Or how to make a door close quicker on an elevator. Just keep pressing it over and over again. Did he just goo the generator? I think he tried to, but it didn't stick because it doesn't... I don't think it can attach the generators. But it certainly looked like he shot out one of those pustule things. Have anything else been changed in the PTB? I think I don't think they added the anti. I gotta look at the patch notes. We should just look at the patch notes. I was watching when I was watching the developer live stream. I was a little confused on what was being added on the PTB, what they were pushing to the PTB, and things that they just were talking about in general. Like, I don't think the anti-camping, anti-face camping mechanic is in the game yet, but that's something that they talked about, and I thought that was going to be added on this PTB. I don't think that's the case. We'll check out the patch notes after this game to get a complete understanding. There's so many of these boxes. There's 2 of these pus things over here. I wonder if we can get both of them at the same time, since they're... Yeah. You just double tap them. Gotta keep that in mind when putting down these slipstream pods here, or whatever the heck they're called. Oh. I don't know what that sound was. Maybe that was him trying to activate it when they're EMP'd right now. Hard to say. He just got down generator. Generator most certainly ran around.